Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you for joining me. This is our first podcast ever. It's called The Mudroom. Took a lot of effort for that one, I think. Anyways, so listen, my idea for this podcast is going to be, a little bit, well, a lot organic. I want it to be natural. I don't really want it, it's not going to be scripted a lot. There's going to be a lot of ums in there and a lot of, it's going to be very, very real. My plan is to bring some leaders of our community into my studio, and which is my home, and 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 get their outlook and their take on the reason they started their business and what drove them to take that next step in life, and what drove them to be great, what drove them to have that first thought of, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something better than maybe their parents, or somebody else that they saw in life, or I want to add up to that one person that they actually look up to in life. We all have those people, right? We all do. So, I want to bring different leaders of our community in. I'm going to try to, anyways. I'm going to try really hard. And a couple of people that are in bands. Let's get some outlooks on some positive stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff going down in our world today. That's just, it's fucking crazy. And so, I want to try to shed a positive light on this. There's a lot of negativity being shed these days, like a ton of it, and I don't really see the positive side of anything, which there is positive to everything, right? Even in the direst of straits, there's a positive to that, The positive is that when you come out on the other end of things, you're going to be that much more knowledgeable, and you're going to have that much more experience in life and how to handle things and how to act, right? How to act right. So I think that with this format, and also, guys, I want to bring people in that I want somebody sitting right next to me in this chair here. I kind of moved myself to center, but I want to see the person that's sitting right next to me in my chair right here, okay, have a different point of view than what I have. And I want to show everybody that we can both have different points of views on opposite ends. We could be on opposite ends of the spectrum, okay? But we can still get along. We can still coexist in this world. And we can still have everything that we've ever wanted. Can still get everything you've ever wanted. You can have whatever outlook, whatever point of view, whatever, you can be whatever religion, you can be, that is the greatest thing of America. You can be anything you want to be. I mean, that's kind of our slogan. You have to work for it. No one's going to hand it to you. No one's going to say, here you go, little Johnny. There's, life on a platter and it's paved with gold brick road. That doesn't happen. It's not all tulips and daisies, and, it's not. It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's hard. You gotta put your best foot forward and you gotta keep going. Listen, I could tell you my life story. I came from absolutely shit, man. I was we'll get into that at another time. This is all about where I see our show going, and we'll as we go along, you'll get to know a little bit about where I come from and how I sit on things. And I'm pretty splintered. I am. I'm splintered, man. I am all over the board. You can't nail me down. And I've tried to nail myself down. I'm like, fuck that. Why nail myself down? There's too many people trying to do that to everybody, right? You can't just put me in a box and say, there you go, John, that's what you are, because that's really not really what I am or who I am. It doesn't work like that. And I don't believe it works like that really with anybody, you know? We all have a lot of different points of views. We believe in one thing that agrees with one group of people, and then we believe in another thing that agrees with another group of people. And we might have five things and be totally freaking divided. And that's okay. That's okay. This is a no judgment zone. And you know, when all this started coming out, all the craziness and all the rioting and the looting and the virus and all of this stuff, you know, everybody was so like, here I am and here I am. You know, there was never really anybody that just kind of went, yeah, you know. And I think I'm that person. I really do. I think I'm that person. I think I'm that person that is gonna be able to look at it and go, dude, yes, coronavirus is a real thing. It's real. It's not fake. What does that mean? I don't know. You know, ingrown toenails are real. They don't kill you. You know, on the other end of the spectrum, cancer, it's real and it kills you. Wherever that virus lands in between all of that, I have no idea. No idea. I didn't go to medical school. I haven't been studying, you know, deadly viruses and all that stuff, you know, for years and years and years and years. I do, however, put a lot of trust and a lot of faith into, I know people are going to go, oh my God, but I put a lot of trust and a lot of faith into our government. I do. I listen to the information. I try to find the most trustworthy news source, and I listen to the information, right? I go to another news source. I listen to the information because it's going to be the same premise. However it came about is going to be different. But whatever happened was going to be the same because whatever happened actually happened. How it happened is going to be different from everybody's going to have a different story. But it's up to us as a responsible American, as an educated American, as a American, a person on the earth, the world, just to have, you know, make an educated decision for yourself. Figure it out for yourself. Find out how you choose to live your life, and then stand by that. Stand on a conviction, however that is. You just stand on it. You know, I think that. You know, I think we're going to hash a lot of things out, and I need to bring it to the table that, you know, we can stand here and have different opinions. We don't have to hurt each other. I feel that in my heart. We don't have to hurt each other. Nothing to hurt each other over. There's nothing to hurt each other over. You know? I don't have much. Look, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not even a 100,000aire, okay? I'm barely a few 4,000 or 5,000aire, maybe. And that's I've got a lot of different projects going on, you know? I started out doing kettle corn. You know, we did, I will tell you a lot about this. I will tell you a lot about my life and where I'm coming from, my own personal background. I did so many jobs, you know. I've been a union iron worker. I mean, even before that, I wasn't a union iron worker until I was 25 years old. And, you know, I've had 2 or 4 spinal surgeries. One in my neck. Oh, you can see that scar there. One in my lower back, or 1, 2. So I had 1 in my neck. I had 2 in my lower back. But one of those, but I had 4 because one of those surgeries, the surgeon had to go in and fix a fuck up. So I count it as 4 surgeries, but it's really three surgeries on my spine and my discs. So, I've had this quick chop thinking in a hurry and say, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? I loved iron work. That's what I did. Local 433. Brothers, be safe out there. Work safe. Be safe. Miss you guys. All of you. So I had to think, like, fuck, I can't go back to ironwork. I got kids that are growing up. I'm probably going to have grandkids at some point. And here I am. I've got 3 of them. So, all of that stuff, it was just kind of, I had to think, John, what the hell are you going to do? You can't just keep going and have back surgeries. But I loved it. So I went and I got my truck driving license. I drove over the road. That was gnarly because I love my family so much. I guess if you don't like your family much, or you don't have a family to really go home to, then yeah, truck driving is a great job. But man, I love my family, and I hope everybody loves their family, man. It's important. Family that's your rock. Whether you know it or not, man, your family is absolutely your rock. Absolutely your rock. So I did that for a little while. Then I went and I tried one business. Okay, I tried power washing. That was whatever. It was right at the drop of the economy. I lost my ironworking job just due to all the back surgeries. I couldn't do it anymore. Did the power washing thing. That dropped off just because it was in the drop of the economy. Nothing was going on there. Nothing. It was all horrible. So then I went and... God, that was the first company I tried starting. What else did I do? Oh, I tried doing home inspections. Yeah, that didn't work out so hot either. So then I went to, I got my over-the-road license. Yes, got my over-the-road license, went and drove truck. That was fun. Learned a skill. That was cool. It was a very valuable skill, especially in my life now, I tow a lot. Before the whole virus thing, I towed probably every weekend, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. So did that for a little while. This is kind of chronological order as best I can remember. So then I got out of the truck driving thing. Okay, that was a whole shit show too. Okay, so got out of the truck driving thing, and I went and I got a job delivering produce, like kind of semi-locally. Okay, I went from my hub was in Riverside, and I went all the way up to Santa Maria, Lompoc, all up Central Coast. So then, I was so tired. I was working 4 days a week, right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So the other 3 days I got to rest, but I was so tired because I was working 17 hours a day. It was a bad gig, man, driving illegally all the time. And it was just horrible. I couldn't do it. So I decided that one day, and here's the thing is on my days off, my wife would come home from work and she'd be all gung-ho, oh, let's go do this. And I'm like, dude, I'd just be like, I'm so tired. I got home at 2:00 in the morning and I woke up at 8:00 in the morning and I'm like, dude, I don't want to go do anything, and I was always such a bummer, I was a drag, I was. But one day, and this is the craziest thing, man, one day I get to, she comes home and she says, hey, let's go to a soccer game. All 3 of our girls came up in AYSO. Okay, they played till they aged out. And we had a lot of fun doing it. My wife really loved to coach, and so she took on a team. So I went to one of her games one night on my day off. Okay, me and a buddy go walking around. It was a soccer tournament, actually. We go walking around a soccer tournament, and he sees the kettle corn guy. I'm like, oh, dude, kettle corn. And I never really been like, You have really people that love kettle corn, like they're kettle corn, and they're just bonkers over it. Me, I've never really been that. I would eat it, and I'd be like, dude, that's kind of good. Would I go buy a bag, everywhere I went? No, I never did. But we ended up getting a bag, and I'm like, dude, this is kind of good, I guess. I said, when I was looking at the setup, and I'm always thinking. My brain goes a million miles an hour. I'm always, always, always on. I'm always thinking. So I get back to the sideline, and I'm eating this corn, and my brain's going, and I'm kind of gazing at the game, not really looking, but gazing at the game. Watching my wife run up and down the field and all that good stuff, and I'm like, dude, I could do this. But you want to know something? I can do it better. Way better. I can knock it out of the ballpark, dude. I got ideas. That's what I thought. Seriously, that's what I thought. I went home that night after that game. My next day off, I woke up early, sat on my couch. I got on my computer. I Googled everything that had to do with kettle corn, right? Geez, everything. Companies, I call people. Start talking to them. Hey, how do you like it? Honestly, from California to the other coast, North Carolina, whatever, New York. I Googled everything. And through my research, through all of that, it came into like lemonade and then like funnel cake and, like some other ideas started flying. I'm like, damn, okay. Now, when I got into kettle corn, I knew one thing. I knew kettle corn already they were a dime a dozen. There's nothing really special about kettle corn anymore. Maybe when it first came out, there was something super special, right? Nothing super special anymore about kettle corn. There were a dime a dozen. And the only thing that kept running through my mind is, yeah, John, sure, they're a dime a dozen, but guess what? The one thing they didn't have they didn't have me. They didn't have my personality. They didn't have how I feel about my customer. They didn't have about what I feel about other people, other human beings, other just people, man. They didn't have that. They didn't have, they didn't have the smile at the counter. They didn't have it was always, every time you went to a food, it was always like, here you go, you want this? They were always like, kind of like, whatever. And so, and I just knew that. So I'm like, dude, I could do this, and I'm going to do it better. The next days, man, I was at it. I like I said, I called everybody. I built the whole business on a pad of paper over the next 3 months. Now remember, I told you I was working so much, I didn't really do much. So I didn't spend any money. I had money in the bank. And it was actually a toss-up. We had just gotten an offer to go to Hawaii with my very best, my dearest friends, Matt and Summer Wetzel. Dearest friends, they're great people. And for their 10th anniversary to celebrate with them. Well, I knew that we didn't have a ton of money. It wasn't like we could go spend $5,000 and then that $5,000 was going to just be replenished in the matter of a couple of weeks or anything like that. So I knew what we had in the bank was kind of what we had to build upon. Okay, that's one thing I knew. So I called up Matt, or thinking of all this, right, and doing all the research and everything. I called up Matt and I said, listen, dude, I love you guys. I want to go. I do, but I think I'm going to start a business. And they're like, what? No, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to start, and this is a kicker, I'm going to start a kettle corn business. I think I took a lot of people by surprise when I turned it into a little bit of something. I do. I think I did. I'm not so sure. My family and maybe even Nicole's family were completely on board at the very beginning. I'm sure everybody had their like, what in the fuck is that guy doing? Like, my God, he's smart, he's talented, he's young, he's strong. Like what is he doing? I'm sure at the very beginning. So they said okay, and I told my wife, I said, do you not think we're gonna start a kettle corn business? And the first thing she did, I'll tell you what, Nicole, I love you. She I said, honey, and I run up and I'm like, oh, I'm like stoked, right? I'm like excited. I'm like, dude, we're gonna fucking start a kettle corn business. And she goes, oh God, like, oh God, not a fucking another one. So we go on and on and on, and I spend more time and I build this whole business. I mean, down to the font of our company, down to the name of it, like what it looks like, kind of like all the marketing strategy stuff, right? And I get it. I get it all together, and we're rolling. We had to go out to a radio station or something like that to pick up a gift that my wife had won on the radio, and she says, go ahead, call and order your kettle corn equipment, because I didn't order anything. It built it on paper in my brain first. I knew exactly where I was buying my corn from. I knew exactly where I was getting my machines from. I knew exactly where I was getting all of my product from. I knew exactly who I was going to do business with. One thing I didn't have, or two things I didn't have yet, okay? First thing was, I didn't have equipment. The next thing was, I didn't have a place to set up to pay for this equipment. So I'm like, oh shit. So we're rolling down the road. She says, go ahead, call up and order your equipment. My heart starts beating really fast. I'm like, she just made this real. She just made this whole thing so real. So I got a little scared, but not, scared and excited is good. You should always be nervous when you're about to dive into something that is very, you don't know, because what scared and nervous and excited, what all those three little emotions bring, the drive to make it work. This did not have the option to fail. It didn't have the option. This was my last, like I said, I got out of the truck driving business. That was a shit show. We'll explain some of that later on, but that was a complete shit show how that happened. And, we didn't make a lot of money. We didn't. Dude, when I started this business, we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 girls. And 2 dogs at first, 2 beagles, and then we found Shamrock, and that was our 3rd dog later on, right? So imagine that. Little teeny tiny apartment, 2 bedrooms, 3 girls, 3 dogs, 3 dogs at a time. This did not have an option to fail, guys. So the one thing I did have was the avenue to get events. Okay, I had the avenue to get events. Okay, I had that vehicle. So I call up, I order the equipment. We're rolling down the freeway. We get home, and I get online and I start Googling, events.net or whatever it was back then. I used them for about a year, I think, and then I really, but at the same time I used those people, which what that is it's a website that you can go to. You pay a yearly fee, and you get up-to-date websites where promoters go out and they post their websites, and vendors like us, we go out there and then we are able to contact them to see if we can get in those events. Well, that was fun a little while, but as that's happening, I'm also going after other events, right? To make an extremely long story short, we built this thing, and it grew and grew. I remember we got into AYSO. We started doing soccer tournaments all over the place. Okay, I started just contacting soccer tournaments. I was very aggressive in how I got my business, and I just went, and I started just boom, 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 emails, the sales, and that's what I was doing. I was selling myself. I was I was marketing myself. That's what I was doing. I had to come across right. I had to say the right words. I had to write. And the hardest thing for me to do is, if from my brain to my fingers to an email. That's the hardest thing for me to get across. When I'm talking, I can get it across pretty well, but I didn't always have that option. So that's what I did. And guys, remember, sales is a law of numbers. So my idea was, the more that I put out, the more of me that I put out, the more emails that I put out there, the more that I went after, the more that I did, the better chance I had of getting something, right? If I'd put out 100 and got 10, that's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, because remember, kettle corn is a dime a dozen. There's a bunch of us out there. So, that's just the approach that I took. Okay, this did not have an option to fail. I was hot on it. So I keep going, and I build this thing. We build it pretty good. We're busy the vast majority of the weekends of the year. Okay, we're busy. I got into the San Bernardino County Fairgrounds. Thank you guys. I've been able to call that my home. They've been so great to us. They've given me chances that, I was just like, man, why would they give me the chance? I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, but they've given us chances. And I think, as far as I know, we've always come through for them. They said, hey, John, do you think your setup could look a little like this? Or could you do a little blah, blah, or however they wanted it, And we'd come in there, me and my crew would come in there. And my team, dude, we just knock it out of the ballpark. And they'd come by and they're like, John, dude, what the hell? This is exactly what we were talking about. They gave us a chance last year at the San Bernardino County Fair to come in, and they want us to have a trailer front, right? Well, we didn't quite have the trailer front. I wasn't able to get it ready in the amount of time. And so I called them and I said, Jennifer, I'm really sorry. I want to so bad, but I just don't think we can have the trailer ready in that kind of time. It's going to cost some money. And she said, John, don't worry about it. Come in your tents. And I said, what? Are you serious? I'm like, Jennifer, that's awesome. Thank you. She goes, I just have a couple requests. And I said, whatever. Sky's the limit. I'm here for you. This is what I do. This is what I do. She says, can you jazz up your front a little bit? Like put lights and stuff like that, where we don't normally have, we have banners and stuff like that. And we always look nice, but some lights to kind of keep up with the motif of everything, And I said, yes, ma'am, we can do that. When I got this whole call about going to the fairgrounds, we were camping. We were camping in Julian, California. I live in Riverside, and Julian is a ways away. And we decided we were going to go camping for like 4 days. And I got this call, and she said, I really need your banners to have like lights and kind of jazz them up a bit and all this stuff. I was outside the trailer. I walked back inside the fifth wheel and I said, honey, I know we've only been here a couple of days, but let's pack it up and go home because I have too much on my brain to not to stay here anymore. I got to get home. I got to start building. I got to start creating. If I don't start doing that, I'm not going to have any more fun on the rest of the time here. And being her, she completely understood because she's a little bit on the same side that I am. I think that's why we mesh so well. She gets excited about things too and has to start like getting at it, So we freaking come from Julian, we come home and I start building all this stuff, to get to the fair. So, we build this thing that's just become fantastic. It's become absolutely incredible. And it's afforded me to work really hard 3 days a week, while the other 4 days a week I'm getting stuff done and taking care of the house and getting, just being able to have everything kind of like bundled up, Now, while we weren't millionaires or 100,000aires or anything like that, it afforded us a living. So I worked very, very hard to get this and to get to where I'm at. So now let's fast forward. Now coronavirus hits. All that's gone. It's all gone. It's tough to watch that go. In the matter of 2-3 hours, in a matter of 2 or 3 hours, I had 3 big events cancel on me. About 12 grand equaled out to be. About, roughly, give or take. In the matter of 3 days, the entire business was just shut down. And like 2019 was where I had my debut at the fairgrounds for the San Bernardino County Fair. And now 2020, it was canceled. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry, guys. My hearts are out to you. I know that was not just a hit on me, it was a hit on you. And however much of a hit on me, I know that that you guys had it a little bit worse and much worse. And so that's why I don't really complain about what I've lost, because I understand that what I've lost, even though it's significant to me in my life, the person next to me could have it much worse. And I'm always here to listen to that person and talk to. So, we had choices. Okay. We all got choices. I had a choice to say, I had the choice. I had choices, man. God damn it. We all have choices. And you can choose when you run into, I ran into a brick fucking wall. A brick wall. I ran into a brick wall face first at 1,000,000 miles an hour. 1,000,000 miles an hour, ran into a wall. I had a choice. I can fall backwards and just lay there and be like, oh man, I guess fuck. Poor John, But no, hell no. Poor John. You kidding me? Poor John, there's 1,000,000 people out there that had the same thing happen, and I'll bet you they didn't just fall back and lay down. I wasn't gonna be one of them. No way, Jose. So, we had already had a plan to put an online store. www.mrpoppersgourmetpopcorn.com. We've always had that plan. We were going to execute on that plan sometime. I think it was actually last month. So, June. And when all this happened, it said to me, okay, step up. What do you got? What do you really got? What do you really got, dude? You can go to an event, go to the people, right? Go to the people where all the people are and they're already going to buy, right? You can do that. I've had great success doing that. What was new to me was being in a forum where now I've got to bring the people to me to buy my products, Before I was going to the people, I knew they were going to buy because it was an event and people buy California events, right? And we knew that. Not all of them were great, some of them we lost, a lot of them we won. But being new, I was just like, damn it. How do we bring the people here? All right, John, what do you got? All right, Nick, what do you got? And we did it, man. We put it out there. It's fantastic, and my customers, I'll tell you what, our customers, we have great customers, and I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of our hearts, for supporting us. Thank you so much. Without you guys, it wouldn't be what it is. Are we breaking any land speed records? No. Do I need a warehouse to store my pallets and pallets that I'm shipping across the world? No. But, we'll get there. So, with all that being said, I'm like, okay, well, obviously this isn't going to make up for all the vending, right? So now, John, personally, what do you got? Because Mr. Poppers is definitely a collaboration between Nicole and I, right? No, it's like, John, what do you got, dude? And I don't know if it's the right time to do this or not, but I'm going to tell you, I'm getting my real estate license. So, you know, I don't know if that's the right time, but one day it will be the right time again. And guess what? If I can stay alive through this time of uncertainty, when we get over to the time of certainty, everything's going to be okay. That's the thing. Work hard. Hang in there. Don't give up. This isn't the end. This could be the beginning of something totally different. We don't know. I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you, I know on the other end of this, it's going to be X. I don't know. I'm in it with you guys. I have zero idea. I just admit I have no idea. I don't pretend to have an idea or to know what's going on. I don't pretend to know what's going on. I got no idea. What I do know and what I have control, direct control over, I have control over my ship. And my ship is right here. Okay? I've got choices. I've got choices. That's something nobody can take away from you. They can't take away your control over your ship, dude. And you can't let them take it away from you. You always have this control. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to make it better? To make it better for you, make it better for your family, make it better for, the people, to contribute to everything just being better. What are you going to do? So I go on and I'm going to get my real estate license. And before all that, I did skip a part. I should have put this in there first if I was going chronologically, because I got back a little while ago, I ended up getting a job with a garage door company. Going to remain nameless, by the way. It was a lot of fun. It was fun. I love that work, man. That's the fun. That's the best. To me, figuring stuff out, using your brain, using your noggin, using common sense. A garage door is a big moving wall. And to make that, and you never realize how inconvenient that moving wall is until it doesn't work. When it doesn't work anymore, you're like, oh shit, oh man. But the thing is that's the best work. I'm in front of customers. I get to sell myself. I get to sell the product that I'm installing or that I'm repairing. I get to talk. I get to do my thing. I get to be analytical. When a garage door is not working, it's not always just one single thing. Sometimes, a lot of times, it's a whole bunch of everything put together. And that's making it all fucked up. So, so I did that for a long time. So I actually started a little garage door business. It's just me. I just do repairs. I keep everything on the low end. I don't go out to make $1 million. So I've got a lot of things going on. I chose not to sit back on my haunches. Okay? By the way, guys, the garage door company, actually, it's a shameless plug. I'm just going to plug everything here since this is my first one. It is www.liftthemupgaragedoorservice@gmail.com. Okay? liftthemupgaragedoorservice@gmail.com. So, I had a choice. I'm not going to sit back. So listen to this. I've got a kettle corn thing going on. A garage door thing going on. I'm studying for my real estate license, just waiting for the date, or, when they say, okay, make a date to take my test. As far as that, all my fees are paid. All that's good to go. So, and then I look at my wife and she's like, what the fuck, John? My God. But I love her because she's so supportive and I love it. It's the best. It's the best. It's something I definitely lacked in my first one. I said, I'm going to start a podcast. I think the people need to hear some positive stuff, some good stuff, some stuff that, some never back down kind of shit. Never give up kind of shit. Shit that you see somebody else of whatever. I'm just a person. I'm just a person. I'm just John, dude. Here I am, John Nevins. I don't know. I worked hard to do the things I do, and I haven't stopped working hard, and I have a feeling I'll probably work hard unless something really goes bonkers, probably for a very long time. I'm 46, going to be 46 in September, I'm a little on the older side. So, I think, and also I'm gonna do a plug also for Daily Brew, okay, on Lincoln and Van Buren, right by the Albertsons. Greatest coffee in the world, the Daily Brew. I'm over there. Jesus, I don't know, a lot. And the best people. Oh my God, it's like a family. It truly is. You want a coffee shop? You want that that coffee shop that's on that show Friends or something like that kind of. That's the coffee shop. Maybe not right now in these times. They have to shut down their dining room, but great people, great coffee. The owner Scott, he's fantastic. You got Mikey Perez. Actually, I'm gonna try to get Mike on the show too, and talk a little bit about his music and about his life, and kind of see the positive that his music can bring to people too. So looking forward to that. Listen, guys, we're at about 40 minutes, and as time goes, that's just kind of my story in a nutshell. Just a quick overview. As time goes on, there'll be certain things filled in here and there. And, we're going to get perspectives on a whole lot of stuff. But remember, we're all in this together. None of us are alone in any of this. I don't have any magic answers. I might have some questions, but I definitely don't have the answers because I don't know. What I do know, please stay the captain of your ship. Okay? Make good choices. Make good choices. Make positive choices. Make choices that positively affect your personal life and the lives around you. Okay, it's very important, and we need to break through some of these barriers that we got. That's for damn sure, because it's important. All right, guys, listen, I'm out of here. Please like and subscribe to the Mudroom. Thank you for joining me. I hope, there's a lot of you guys out there listening. I hope this touched somebody. All right. This is John, and this is John with the Mudroom. I'll talk to you later. Make good choices. Be good humans.